Now this is a quick test of the audio. Make sure that the audio works properly through YouTube. If you can hear me, you can give me a signal.能听到是吧? Okay, so everybody can hear me. That's perfect. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to today's meditations online. And thank you for being here tonight from whereby or YouTube to explore the mind together. Meditation is the life. Life is meditation. In each session, let's explore what is meditation. It's not about how to meditate. The very understanding of what is meditation will let you know how to meditate. What is the best form that for you can use to practice? This means that there's no fixed form of meditation. Everyone can find their own way to meditate, to observe the mind, to understand life. So the very, very core question about meditation is, what is meditation? What is our life? How the mind works? The very understanding of the mind in terms how the mind works will help us to understand the essence of the world, not the outside world, but actually it is the projection of your inner world. The world means to you is your perception to the world, right? You may find that everybody perceives the world differently, very differently sometimes. Everyone has a different reality. Due to the different perceptions, due to the different neuron activities. To meditate is to understand those facts, the facts about the mind, the facts about all kinds of human issues, the nature of mind. The very way to make peace with those facts is the key to change the life. Look at all our troubles, all kinds of mental challenges. It is all against the nature of mind. We are refusing it in different forms, in different ways. But the very refusal to these facts only cause conflicts. To meditate for each of us is to understand the totality of the mind. Understand how the mind is hurt by all kinds of divisions human has created in all kinds of subtle ways. People tend to divide, tend to occupy, tend to own something. This very intense tendency is just for the security, a false sense of security, because the very pursuit of this only cause the conflicts, turbulence, chaos of the mind. I think everybody can feel it in your way, right? To meditate is to understand this. Understand what's the relation between the thoughts and you. That's a hard question, to be honest. Why is it hard? Because we couldn't really distinguish what are thoughts and who am I. For most people, they don't know what are thoughts. What are they? Because they are the thoughts. Are they? The self is a thought, isn't it? Maybe I can give a little more detail. Look at the self running in the head. Isn't it about something like title, position, wealth, gender, age, nationality, language, culture? Is it not the self of all this? It's an image about someone, about ourselves. If we don't understand the self, we don't understand the thoughts. Right? Look at ourselves. Are we really looking at ourselves, or we are looking at ourselves through an image? Your profession, your title. Back to the question. To meditate, actually we are inquiring the relationship between the thoughts and ourselves, not the source between not between the thoughts and the ego. Because the relation between the thoughts and the ego is very simple. They are the same. They are each other. But what's the relation between the thoughts and the you? the very way to understand you. The very way to peel all kinds of mental images about you, of you, so you can see yourself clearly without through those mental images. Then there's a possibility to the relationship between the thoughts and you. All of this is meditation, part of meditation, part of the inquiry into what is meditation. Before we start the session, let's keep silent for 3 minutes, as usual. During these 3 minutes, you could focus on the breath and try your best to hold your attention on the breath. Or you can simply reflect how many moments of the day you were not present. Then, after that, let's come back to the exploration. I think this question should always come back to us. How many moments of the day we are really present? Being present means that you are aware of your mind, no matter what you are doing. Being present means that you are not carried away by thoughts without any awareness. The very simple way to notice this is part of the meditation. To notice how busy the mind is for the whole day, for all kinds of reactions, desires, thinking, rumination. To notice how petty the mind is. In you, in me, in everyone. The very way to watch of this petty mind is part of the meditation practice. Look at our daily life. Why the life is surrounded by so many thoughts. So each one is isolated by the thoughts. Are they? Thoughts only creates the isolation in which people react to thoughts differently. Behave differently, probably dramatically differently. Look at life. Look at life fraught with thoughts. Why thoughts has become so important in life? If you are curious about the mind, the life, you may ask, right? Why the life? It's surrounded by thoughts. Why thoughts are so important to human beings? Thoughts bring culture, thoughts divide people, right? Based on different thoughts, people forms different communities. Closed incoming condo. Thoughts give people pleasure, right? Look at our life. How much pleasure, how much fun comes from the thoughts. Look at the modern entertainment activities of the human beings. It's all about pleasure, right? All kinds of pleasure. And pleasure only comes from thoughts. If people are pursuing pleasure, it is no wonder that thoughts are so important, in the hope that thoughts can make the life more funny. But look at our reaction to thoughts. The pleasure is one side, the pain, the suffering on the other side. Look at the mental troubles you are facing. Aren't they the consequence of your reaction to some thoughts? And the long-term involvement in pleasure from thoughts has made thoughts such an important part of the life. But pleasure is the reaction to thoughts. Pain is also the reaction to thoughts. Anyway, they are the reactions to thoughts. What does that mean? It is mean that the pleasure always go hand in hand with pain, because they both reactions to thoughts. If thoughts were so important in life, what would be the consequence? Actually, we have seen it, right? People are just caught up in all kinds of reactions. Can we see this clearly in ourselves? How thoughts divide the mind, divide life. How thoughts creates all kinds of conflicts. At the beginning of the session, we have said that the ego is also thoughts. That's it. Think about the self in terms, position, salary, age, gender, ideology, nationality, language. The ego is a mere accumulation of all kinds of mental images, which are thoughts. So you have your image about yourself, which we call the self-image. When I praise you, you are happy. You are inattentive because you react to the thoughts about yourself, the self-image. You are elated. But when I criticize you, you feel hurt because you also react to the mental image of yourself, the same self-image. Do you see the point here? In those two situations, you react to the both. You react to the mental images, regardless whether I praise you or criticize you. If you could associate this with your daily life, you may find that many troubles come from this, right? The self-image. You are holding an image. And you hope to derive some pleasure when the image is beautified. And you don't want to be hurt when the image is attacked, which is beyond your control when you react at that moment. Pleasure always goes hand in hand with pain. We are living in thoughts, and we are living in such a mental image all the time, right? The self, the ego. And all the trouble around it. You know that feeling. So to meditate, for us, is to inquiry. Is that possible to live a life without a self? Is that possible to live a life without being dominated by thoughts? The very inquiry of this question deeply, by looking at yourself, by observing yourself, by understanding yourself, is to meditate. Can we let the self end? Can we live a peaceful and quiet life? Quiet does not mean that there's no sound around you. Quiet means your mind is quiet. Not quiet between two thoughts, but the mind is quiet, silent. At the same time, the mind is active and energetic. We don't mean dull mind. The mind is very dull. Of course, the mind is therefore silent. We don't mean that mind. We mean a mind which is energetic but also quiet. If you say, no, it's not possible to live in this way, I'm sorry, you have blocked yourself from looking further, looking into your life. If you say, yes, it is possible, I'm sorry, you also blocked the way. If you say, let's explore together, to look within myself, to turn inward, then we open the way, open the door to walk into the mind. That's meditation. To live a life without conclusion. Look at these chaos of the human minds. Years by years, centuries by centuries, we have accumulated too much knowledge, and unfortunately, too many conclusions. Look at our daily life. Aren't you living in conclusions? There are so many assumptions. You never question. You just follow it. Follow the mass. That's the conclusion we are holding on to. The very way to refuse the conclusion is to look at it, question it. And that's the beginning of meditation. The freedom to investigate, the freedom to look at the mind, the freedom to examine the conclusions without being influenced by other people, other things. That freedom is the beginning, the meditation. So, let's inquire into this question. Can we live a life without being dominated by thoughts? Of course, this question can't be answered in one session, but you would find it through your life. So now, let's explore once. Let's inquire into this question by doing some meditation. So, at the beginning session, we said that there's no fixed form of meditation. You have your way, I have my way. It doesn't matter at all. When you know the essence of meditation, you won't ask how to meditate. Here, let's still do some forms. Let's do the breath meditation to focus on the breath. Why is breath? Breath is the sensation from the body. It's something you can feel, not think about. If you think about the breath, actually there's a mental image about that. But in the breath meditation, let's feel it. Not think about that. No mental images. Just feel the breath. At the same time, we have to stay vigilant against the thoughts. You don't have to refute the thoughts. Just watch it, observe it. Let it come, let it be, let it go. But don't identify with it. Just notice the thoughts. And always focus on the breath by feeling it. And let's do it now together, following the audio guide. Surrender yourself to the experience. And after that, let's come back to the session. Now, let's take a 10-minute meditation. Start by taking a moment to find a comfortable position to sit in a posture that you feel relaxed and get alert. Let hands rest on your knees or laps. Let the eyes close gently. Soften your forehead. Act a soft smile in the corner of your lips. Breathe naturally. As you breathe in, be aware that you are breathing in. Feel the sensation of breathing in. The region can be the nostrils, can be the belly, can be anywhere. Focus on the part you feel most. As you breathe out, be aware that you are breathing out. Feel the sensation of breathing out. The region can be the nostrils, can be the belly, can be anywhere. Focus on the part you feel most. Fix your attention on the breath. Let go of any thought, words, images. This moment, nothing is more important than breath. while you are listening to the bell, check where your attention is. If it wasn't on the breath, after the bell, gently invite your attention back to the breath and sustain your attention on the breath. Slowly bring your awareness back to this room. Feel into your body. Wiggle your fingers and toes. When you are ready, open your eyes. I hope everyone has quietened mind somewhat in the last 10 minutes practice. The way to watch the mind is to watch the activities of the mind, the thoughts, without being into it. Just like what we did in the last 10 minutes meditation. Feel the breath. Notice the thoughts. But we are not into the thoughts. Back to the what we said at the beginning of the session. To meditate is to notice, to understand the relation between the thoughts and you. Which means that one has to be able to recognize what are thoughts, what are not. To understand the whole structure of the thoughts. Or, alternatively speaking, to understand, are thoughts really important in life? If we think thoughts are very important, we are always into thoughts. To show that thoughts are really important. Is that really true? That thoughts are important? The way to understand thoughts are unimportant in any way psychologically is meditation. Maybe this sounds a little shocking, is it? For people who are living in thoughts for so many years. For those people who are carrying thoughts day by day until the end of life. But this is a meditation. To refuse, it's the wrong word. To negate the thoughts totally. To negate means deny the importance of thoughts, which does not mean that you have to refuse thoughts, but you negate thoughts by observing it, by feeling the limitation of the thoughts, all the problems arising from thoughts. But if you refuse those, Actually, it's you are using another thoughts to control the thoughts. That's irrelevant to negation of thoughts. But the refusal only aggravates only as to the chaos of the mind. This part won't come by teaching, by being told by someone else. Though you are listening to me now, but actually you are observing the mind. Your observance will give you this, not those words we are talking about here. Everyone is going through some mental challenges in their own way. It's really a good opportunity for people to look within. The challenges are very valuable resources for people to understand this. The nature of mind, the limitation of thoughts, and all kinds of sufferings from thoughts. A life that is not dominated by thoughts is not a life without thoughts. If you want a life without thoughts, it's another thought, another illusion. If you have that illusion to live a life without thoughts, you are still living in life. You are still living a life with thoughts, right? Because that illusion. But I think your query into the mind will lead you to know how to live a life without being dominated by thoughts. There's beauty beyond thoughts. There's peace, joy beyond thoughts, which is different from pleasure. That people are seeking. Joy, peace, calm can't be sought. Right? The very moment you stop seeking is the moment you walk out of thoughts, illusions. And at that moment, the moment you stop seeking, peace, calm, and joy will approach you. In a word, understand all of this is a part of the meditation. And I hope everyone could find their way to understand this. The facts. Be friendly. Be friends with this fact. Make peace with it. Then you are living in a different world with clarity, with confidence, with joy, with peace. With compassion.
Hey.
That's the content for today's session. We have talked about thoughts. From this perspective, we have approached what is meditation. I believe your observance and your interest in this will lead you to a place you deserve to be. And thank you for everybody being here tonight. Like Tasso from the whereby. Oh, thank you for the comment here. I just noticed it. Thank you for your listening. Not to my verse, not to this verse. Actually, these words are nonsense. If you don't understand, if you don't observe your mind. But your observance will give you overdose. And I hope everybody stay peace and calm and enjoy the wonderful day ahead. Each day, each moment. Be aware of your thoughts. Never walk into it. Observe it and stay peace and happy. Great. That's it. And see you in the future sessions. Oh, before we end, don't forget to check out the podcast. The session will be recorded into an audio, and this will be put into the podcast. And for some of us who want to really listen, great. And have a wonderful evening. And hopefully see you in the future sessions. Bye-bye, everyone.